Welcome to Cooking with Jimmy, and tonight we are cooking chicken soup. So what we got here, we got set up, I think this is about a 25 quart, our local hardware store pot, nothing expensive, not fancy dancy, doesn't matter, we're making chicken soup. I like to take the bigger pot. Now this is out of my fancy dancy stock pot, soup pot, but this is what we're going to do and change things up a bit, and this is the reason why we're going to do it. We're going to take this strainer because we want to keep separated, clean from the bones and the skin and bay leaves and all that stuff in our chicken soup. So we're going to put this inside our pot. Now we have our pot, it's pretty well filled up to about there, just below the handles, and what's going to happen is we have it heating up now. This is going to stay kind of still on the outside of the pot. We're going to put all our stuff that we want to stay in there, like onions, carrots, herbs, spices, whatever stays in the soup. Then what we do is we take our chicken and bay leaves, because you can't chew on a bay leaf, it doesn't taste good, and we put them in the middle. What this does is, and this is about, it's not only a chicken soup in the traditional methods, but it's a reduction. Reduction gets all the flavor out of the bone, the marrows, the skin, the meat, and everything. The meat never changes on the chicken. It stays the same. You can't like overcook it. It doesn't work that way with chicken. So what we're going to do is we have this set here. We have our chicken here from the grocery store. You can take it, if it's frozen, you can put it in too. After a while, it's been cooking maybe for an hour or so, you can push it with a spoon and break it up. No need to throw it on the cutting board, make a mess, chop everything up. It just adds to cleanup. So here we got our full chicken. We're going to put it in the center. We left our water down so that we have room for the chicken and other things we're going to add to it. But this is going to reduce. Now there's no rush to hop along and want to start throwing all the stuff in, because this is slow cook. So let's say you want to make chicken soup. It's best, you're around all day, you're cleaning the house, whatever you're doing, playing with the kids, watching a movie, you just put this in here. The base stock of the chicken soup is the flavors out of the chicken itself. The skin, fat, meat, bones, cartilage, the whole bit. This takes time. All the other stuff like onions. Onions is going to be your second thing that you throw in. Onions don't take a lot of time to cook. Carrots don't take a lot of time to cook. And then your spices and flavors that go through it. If you, for example, if you season it all up right from the start and you put your garlic in, garlic as it cooks loses its power. Everything gets lost in the cooking process. So you want to save it to the end. But to extract all the flavors and everything, you need time for that. Then when you reduce something, it's like doing a reduction. You take those flavors, the water comes out of it, and the byproduct is concentration of flavors, and just give it that really, really good taste. So this is what we got for now. We put the lid on it. This keeps the heat in the middle. It gets a rolled boil. Everything goes up through the middle of it. We'll show you later, once it starts boiling, that everything will be rolling and boiling in here, and on the sides will be like a still pond, and it'll be just fine. So now we've got this chicken to a rolling boil. We'll take the lid off. I'm going to show you how this works. So the chicken inside is boiling like crazy. We're going to turn this down to below medium. We still want the roll of the boil, but now see, it goes in the middle and it's calm on the outside. Conservation of energy. We don't need all that energy for what we're going to do. And it's just going to slowly deal with the chicken that's in there. So we put our lid back on. That stops the main evaporation from the center. We don't need any onions or all the other stuff that we're going to put in there, because it's not important at this part. We want the reduction. We want all the flavors out of the chicken itself. We can actually probably take right now a spoon, and we'll see how this chicken is doing. See, we could push into it and we could pretty well start to split this chicken apart. It's going to take a little while more, and you don't want to obviously burn yourself, but you'll see You want to break up the chicken, give it time, let the marrow and the cartilage and everything all fall apart, and then you can push this with a spoon, and then this will just give better cooking throughout it. So now that we got this turned down, now we still got our bubbling in the middle, and we'll just let it cook away. And we'll see by the time we go down, this is going to reduce to about half the pot. It could take 4 hours, 6 hours, whatever. It's no rush. You don't have to worry about it. The more it reduces, the more taste and flavors you're going to have in the soup, because it is now a reduction. And we add our flavors in it. When we get a chance, we come back, we finished our movie, we bathe the kids, whatever we're going to do. No rush. Chicken soup, going to be the bomb. Okay, back on the soup scene, and we're ready to continue this awesome chicken soup recipe. So what we're going to do is we got 6 regular size onions. Now, our chicken soup over here has been cooking now for a few hours. So you see the chicken's all fallen apart inside the pot. It's still nice and still on the outside, and it's bubbling through the center. It's reduced. It's about half the pot, but we haven't put any ingredients in it yet. Like I said, it's no rush to get to that stage. So what we're going to do now, the 6 mid-sized standard cooking onions, we're going to take this and we're going to chop them up, and we're going to throw them in the outside edge of the pot. So what we do is, I'll just show you a little express way to cut up a onion. First we'll take the skin off the outside. You can take the first layer with it, doesn't matter, it makes it easier to peel. Make sure that there's no skin there. We cut this in half, and the trick to cutting an onion is when you go to cut it, you want to, when you cut with the knife, we're going to cut through it, but we're not going to cut all the way. This holds the onion together so that it's manageable. Then you turn it sideways. You're going to cut through the onion like that, and then once you get to the point that isn't cut, then you're just going to chop it up. So once again, you go most of the way through the onion, holds it together, chop it up, and then finish the end. And that's how you deal with an onion in an efficient way, like a chef would do. So we're going to chop up the rest of the onions, and we'll be right back. Okay, so now we got our onions all chopped up. We're going to push this pot to the side. We're going to take our onions and we're going to throw them into the outer side of the soup. Okay, so we have our onions dumped in the side of the pot. One thing we never showed you before is that we have 4 or 5 bay leaves that we put in when we were cooking the chicken. I don't believe we got that on the video. So now we got our onions on our side. We're going to put 1 teaspoon of black pepper. We are going to put 2 tablespoons. And the other one of sea salt. We're going to put 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of oregano, dried oregano leaves. We're going to put chicken base. We're going to put 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. Okay, and we're going to put 1 teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning, which has been around for 75 years. We're going to put a tablespoon of a Creole seasoning, Tony Chirachis. Okay. And last but not least, we're going to put in, now this is a Jamaican jerk seasoning. Now this stuff has quite a kick to it. So we're going to put, it's probably about a half a teaspoon we're going to put in there. This has major kick. So we're going to throw that in there. You don't want too much, but if you like things really spicy, then throw more in. But we're trying to create a balance here with the simulation of flavor, so nothing overpowers anything else, but we still want to sit down and eat a chicken soup that's just got so many flavors going on that's so good. So now I'm just going to get my frozen parsley out of the freezer and my crushed garlic cloves. Now this can't sit outside, so we can't have it sitting on the counter. It has to be used and put back right away, because it will come together and you won't be able to deal with it. So we're going to put a good handful of our minced parsley in there. Okay, 2 big handfuls. So you have 2.5. Can't have too much parsley. And we have here, which we'll show you in another video, how to prepare this. And this is basically, each one of these is approximately a clove of garlic. It's flash frozen, and it is minced. So it's minced up in a blender, so it's just like fresh crushed garlic. So we're going to put 2, 4, 6 of those in there for now. Now the trick is, later on at the end of this, we're going to throw in 6 after it's finished cooked. You've taste tested it, it's to your liking, you got it perfect. Then when you shut the heat off, no more cooking, you're going to throw in 6 more, and that just adds a crazy amount of flavor. Okay, so we're just going to stir this in. Right, give it a little stir. Get all our ingredients in there. And the other thing we will have to do is grab a bag of baby carrots. Keep this easy breezy, save all the peeling, all that. There was rumors and all kinds of things about baby carrots on the internet, that, you know, they're soaked in bleach and that, and they weren't real carrots and all stuff like that. The majority of sources say that's phony, but they're carrots and they're peeled and they're ready to go. So whichever way you like it, if you want to peel, stand there and peel and do all that stuff, that works too, but we keep this easy breezy. We're going to dump a bag of carrots in there. Now, one thing to remember is never lift this pot up. If you pick it up, first of all, the carrots are going to get crushed on the bottom and they're going to get mashed. You don't want to do that. So now that we have this in here, we are going to let it simmer for approximately around an hour or more, and we're going to come back. We're going to take a taste. If it needs any final tuning to our personal preferences, but this should hit the mark because I've done it over and over again, then we should be good to go and have one amazing chicken soup.